Alright then, lovers of budget cars and bikes, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the last video we are going to do on the MG4 SE, which, if you've been following the channel and this series in particular, you'll know we bought because it was all smashed up in this kind of area here. The wing had a little bink in it, the headlight had a little bink in it, and the bumper was, well, not there, basically, was it? So, yeah, but as you can see, it is all back together. Those are the little trims I bought from MG because they were actually cheaper than buying them used off eBay, which is bizarre. There's the bumper we also bought off eBay, along with the little kind of spoiler thing down the bottom there. The only thing I need to do is find these little kind of inserts here that pop into there. There's little carbon fiber look inserts that fit in both sides, and I've got to try find those. You'd never know. I mean, if you didn't know they were there, you'd probably not know that they were there, if that makes sense. But our paint guy did a lovely job, as you can see. There's nothing there that I would be concerned about. The little dink in there isn't perfect by any means, but it is a hell of a lot better. But everything fits, as you can see, really, really nicely. Got to say, I'm quite impressed with the work. As you'll notice as well, we've taken off the wheel trims because I actually prefer the look of the alloys. I've got some little kind of inserts that say MG to pop in those little holes just there and there all the way around. They were about 13 quid off Amazon, I think it was. So I think we're going to leave that like that for a little while because, as you know, the wheel trims are absolutely battered. The guy that owned this before, he looks to have just driven into every curb he could find, basically. But that is it. That is as it looks now. So, what did we spend on this car? Wow, I think you'll know from the thumbnail what we spent on this car. But what have we spent since then, you might ask? I tell you what I'll do, I'll actually make things a little bit easier. I'll put a little list all the way down here of what we spent, kind of an itinerary as it were. And then you can kind of work it out for yourselves, can't you? But the total price this car owes me now is £6,181.30. Now, I think you'll agree for a 2-year-old EV with 40,000 miles, yes, I know the miles are a bit strong, that's good value, I think, because it literally does not have a mark around it now. The little marks we spotted on the bumper when the car first arrived, they've been touched in by the paint guy. That one could do with another little go there. It's just this tiny little bit there which still confuses me when there's a bloody sensor right above it. It's like they didn't care and they just kept driving, or it happened in the yard as I suspected. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll jump inside and I'll show you around the interior, talk to you about that, my feelings on all that, of course, and show you some of the tech as well. So yeah, let's jump inside and have a little look. All right, guys, so we are inside the MG4 now. It's still a really, really beautiful place to be. The one tiny negative for me, I think, is this screen, and that's going to happen with any screen. I think it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. I mean, every time you touch it, you're going to get blops all over it, which it's just one of those things, isn't it? If you've got an Android tablet, an iPad, anything like that, it's just one of those things you kind of have to put up with, really. I would have liked to have seen this move, like tilt maybe backwards and forwards if you are in a place where there's lots of sun behind you, perhaps, or maybe even angled slightly more towards the driver in the cockpit. I think that would have been something that they should have thought about. The settings are pretty intuitive. There's not really much to say about that. There's been a million different videos out there showing you what all the settings do. Effectively, on the home screen, you've got your Apple CarPlay, you've got your Android Auto, you've got your state of charge, even though it says please plug in the charge connector. Not quite sure why it's saying that. We've got 75%, but I think it just about says that constantly. It's connected to Android Auto at the moment, but if you want to obviously change things around, you can go to the radio and you can go to USB music, etc. There's your air conditioning. You've got your car kind of stuff going on in here for the MG Pilot, which is the biggest pain in the arse for me in this car. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I swear to God, this car's tried to kill me 3 times because I've been going down a Cornish kind of B road and it's seen the white line in the road and it's tried to drive me into the hedge because it thinks I'm crossing the road. Really dangerous thing, I personally think. So I turn that off every single time I get in the car. And I also turn off by default, I think it's in high regen, which basically means every time you take your foot off the accelerator, it kind of lurches forward, which can kind of cause a little bit of nausea. I don't like that. So I have, every time I get in the car, I have to turn off the lane assist and turn off the high regen, put that to low or even off, or adaptive. It seems to work quite well as well. But there's all your kind of menus going down through there. Again, there's been so many videos made about this kind of stuff and where all the settings are. I'm not going to bother you with that. You've got your high beam, auto high beam, which is kind of cool. You've got my Find My Car, Welcome Home lights, Follow Me Home, and then you've got your safety where you can do the auto hold, which I do like, and you can do the power off, which I do like. But that's effectively where your technical settings are, as it were. And then, of course, we've got the little screen down here, which we've seen a million times because we've seen all the little red lights on and off there. That little yellow light there, down there, just denotes I've turned off the lane assist, because every time you turn it off, it goes yellow to say, well, look, we're not going to help you. Yeah, thanks, I don't want you to. There's the little gear changer down there. Again, you'll have seen this. I do like this because you can kind of rest your hand on here and just do what you need to do. It's kind of cool. I like that. I would have liked the Trophy, which has a wireless charging pad there, but this is the SE, the paupers version, if you will. But again, I like all this down here. I like the way that it all slides backwards and forwards. I don't like the fact that there's no USB connector in there. I think that would have been a little bonus, because we've got the Get Par 2.0 wireless Android Auto adapter, as it were. It's just sitting down there with a little blue line. I hope you've seen the video we've already done on that. That gives me the basically wireless Android Auto in the car, but it would have been nice maybe to stick one here or maybe in underneath here, so we're going to pop that there. It is out of the way down there. I'm not going to complain too much, and obviously we've got the Type-C connector just there and a little 12-volt cigar lighter. But as I said, we've got Android Auto wireless now with that little Get Par 2.0. Again, if you haven't seen the video, it'll be up here somewhere. I suggest you get one if you've got the cheaper model here, because it just means you press your Android Auto and he says confidently that it will suddenly pop into life, and there it is. It just pops up on your screen like that, so you don't actually have to have your phone on a pad with the wire going up through from here and have all this white wires or black wires up and running here. You just pop that little one in there and there's your screen, and if you don't want to use it, you just press the home button and here we are. So that's the interior, guys. I do like the interior. I like the way it's got the little blue accents on the doors and on the seats as well, the little bit of stitching, because obviously this is a blue car. The seats are fine. This one's a little bit grubby. I need to clean that up again. I did buy some floor mats as well. They were only about 20 quid off eBay, so that's that done. And, well, the car is done, I guess, guys, really. Well, just pop outside again and I'll give you another quick run around and we'll close out the video. All right then, guys, that has been the final video, I think, on the MG4 SE standard range, the paupers version, as it were. I like it, I gotta say, I really do like it. I wasn't sure about the Smurf colour, to be honest, but it's one of those colours that kind of grows on you. I think with the black and the blue and the alloy wheels, I think it looks nice. I think it looks a hell of a lot better without the wheel trims, if I'm honest. But then I guess you get to see the calipers and the discs, which are a bit ugly, shall we say. But generally speaking, I think it's a handsome car. I love these rear lights. A rear wiper would be nice, I have to say, because I've been caught out a few times when I can't really see bugger all out of this tiny little kind of aperture at the back. But yeah, apart from that, I don't really think I've got any negatives apart from what I've kind of mentioned when it comes to the pilot assist kind of stuff, the tech that kind of drives the car for you. That pisses me off. I don't know if I could live with that day in, day out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'd be curious to know if you've got one of these, if you've test driven one, any electric car with this kind of autopilot thing. What are your thoughts on that? I don't like it. I really don't like it. If I'd have test driven one of these properly, because we did test drive one at Vosper's, but very, very briefly, and if I'd have seen how intrusive that autopilot thing is, I don't think I'd have bought one. Because the newer ones, you can turn it off in settings and it stays off, but these older ones, you have to reset it every time, which is a real bloody ball ache. Yeah, not sure. Anyway, drop it in the comments what you think about that. If you've enjoyed this series, consider subscribing, give this video a like, a share, a thumbs up, and we will catch up in a couple of weeks, because it's just started pissing down, so I'm off home. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and share, and we'll catch up in a couple of weeks.